G'day viewers, it's Michael here again and welcome back to Single Racer. And now I've decided to chase the rabbit down the rabbit hole, but before I do, does anyone have a fix if you're using the shaders patch with Content Manager and Soul for this floating sign problem? Every time on a certain replay I'll get those floating signs in the air and I'm not sure how to fix it. So if you've discovered a fix, I'd be very grateful for a comment underneath the video, please. And now this video came about for many reasons really, but the main one was probably a favourite older channel that had migrated to Twitch but had started up again and doing YouTube videos, and he drove this car on the Nordschleife and described it as both frustrating and exhausting, but a hell of a lot of fun. And that channel goes by the name of Play Everything, but the car itself is a modified version of the F1 car from Kunos called the F2004. It's done by Ferrari Man601. It's a custom car in a sense with more power and probably a few other tweaks. And it just occurred to me actually that the car could also be from ASR. I'm not really sure, I've forgotten to ask Ferrari Man. But essentially he didn't drive it on the Nordschleife. In his video he drove it on Monza. And then it was followed up by SimRacing604, who did 3 laps altogether in a combined kind of big 3 challenge. And so that challenge was to drive this car on 3 individual tracks all at once. So that was Monza, Le Mans, or Le Mans as we would say here in Australia, and the Nordschleife. Now it was also, that's where it was followed up with a lap on the Nordschleife by Play Everything, but also one of my favourite hot lapping channels as well, Chuck Does Hotlaps, also did a time on the Nordschleife. And now Charles from Chuck Does Hotlaps also did the full 3 tracks, all setting times on the 3 tracks. Now I can't match Chuck Does Hotlaps or Play Everything, or even though Ferrari Man hasn't driven on Nordschleife itself, I don't think that at full tilt I could catch him. And also I've chosen to use this livery purely because I think Ferrari Man 601 is associated with the Ferrari skin and I want to leave it that way. So I've chosen this alternate skin or alternate livery for this hot lap. But finally, the reason I've decided to have a go on this particular track, the Nordschleife, is because I don't think I can beat the other 3, but I've always thought myself that what makes you the fastest is knowing a track inside and out or intimately. And although I stir Mike Smith over at SimRacing604, I don't think I can beat him in an F1 car. I'm just not a competent F1 driver. I'm talking at the very limit. And but what I find interesting is Mike Smith loves the Nordschleife, but he doesn't drive it that often. So I was interested to find out, would his skill at F1 but not knowing the track as well beat me, which knows who I know the track intimately, but I'm not a good F1 driver, and how would those combinations come together? So I decided to give just the Nordschleife a go because I'm not confident enough on Monza or the other track, and so this is the result. Now I'll have a link to all 4 videos in the description, and if you want to download the car, please visit Ferrari Man's video because it's his custom version of this car, and I want you to get the link from him after checking out the video if you feel like it. So this is Michael signing out for Single Racer. I'll catch you next time. Let's see how we do on the track. So see ya, and let's go hot lapping.